All right, guys, I can't believe people are buying some of these stocks, and unfortunately, it's a huge mistake. Now, to be clear, it's not every stock that we're buying as retail, but there are some that I have no idea what the heck we're thinking. So we'll talk about the stocks that people are buying that are great, and we'll talk about the stocks that are basically a huge mistake. We'll go over each stock individually, the good, the bad, everything else, and I'll give you my take on whether I would buy the stock or not as well. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype, because that's exactly what you're going to get today, even though it may make a few people mad. That's okay. Part of the gig here, part of giving you guys the truth. So, hey, I'm happy. Bring it. If you disagree, comment down below with what you disagree with, and let's have a discussion down there. Now, please just keep in mind, these are not my stock picks, guys. I did not create this list. This is the list that retail investors are buying en masse. These are the top 10 stocks that they're buying. This isn't Luke's top 10 list or anything else like that. So just keep that in mind. All right. So stock number 10 is Meta. Guys, we'll start off right here with Meta. You guys know my thoughts on Meta. I think it's a great company. I see no reason not to continue to own this company. I'm going to continue to own it into the future. I understand that Zuck's controversial. I understand I don't necessarily agree with everything he says or does or anything else like that. But in regards to running the business, he does an incredible job. However, this highlights to me that, okay, we got Meta at number 10, which is a great company, but some of the companies that we're buying as retail investors instead of Meta just baffle me. It makes me almost frustrated as a investor trying to help out folks, seeing so many of the same mistakes that have happened that have cost people money for years upon years upon years. And they've avoided Meta this entire time in exchange for other stocks on this list that have returned basically nothing since they had their hype runs in 2021. They've done nothing but go down, but yet they continue to be retail favorites. So obviously you guys know for me, Meta is a pump it. I buy it every single time we get a nice little dip in it, and I'll continue to do that in the future. I'm up on every single share that I've ever bought of this stock, and I'm hoping to continue that here into the future. And I believe Meta will give me the opportunity to have that continue to be true well into the future. So stock number 9 is AMC. There you go, right off the bat. I don't know why the heck anybody would buy AMC before they would buy a great stock like Meta. I have no clue. I understand some folks still believe in the $100,000 per share and all that other ridiculous stuff. I don't know how. I guess there's going to be people, they'll fall into the same category as the folks that think the internet's still a fad and it's eventually going to go away. I don't know at this stage. I don't know what more proof you need that it's not a good business, not a good business model. Is there a trade there? Sure. If you're trading it, makes perfect sense to me. There's absolutely some sort of a meme trade thing going on there. I don't know how to do it. You can't even chart it properly because it doesn't seem to move with any sort of traditional metric you want to put on in regards to the trading scale. So maybe there's something there, but as a buy and hold long-term investor, this stock makes absolutely no sense on any level to hold. So for me, it's a complete dump it. I want nothing to do with it. And number 8 is GameStop, and it's the same exact thing as AMC. I don't think we need to go into it. It's just basically take what I just said about AMC, apply it to GameStop, and we are in the same exact boat. Again, for me, it is a dump it. I understand there may be a trade there. Okay, cool. If you guys are into that sort of thing, I understand that piece. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. But if you're buying this thinking you own a great company for the long term, it's just simply not true, at least not at this stage with the particular business, with how they're running the business and everything else. So for me, GameStop, a complete dump it. So number 7 is Disney. Now this one I've bought before and I may look to buy again if it gets cheap enough again in regards to valuation. Now you got to have caution with this one. I'm not going to call this one necessarily a pump it because you need caution. They have business problems. They have had business problems. They've fixed some things, other things they clearly have not fixed. And so there's a lot of challenges with this stock. And you got to understand that piece. That's kind of one of the keys to this entire thing is understanding that they have business problems that they have to solve. They've solved some, but not all. And it's a long road. Disney is a beast. It's like turning around a cruise ship. It's not going to happen quickly and it takes time. So if you believe in that and we continue to get the stock price continue to trend down, then at that stage, you could make a lot of money on the back end. However, if it doesn't turn around, it's going to be a long, long road for Disney, and they have those business problems that they've got to solve. So for me, I'm not going to call it a pump it. I'm just going to call it a caution at this stage that you got to understand what you own and understand it's a turnaround play far more than it is anything else. So number 6 is Microsoft. I like this pick right here for you guys. I like the fact that Microsoft is sticking around there. I know they're kind of boring, but man, they're just one of the big dogs there. And I believe you can't go wrong with any of the stocks like Microsoft there that have a long runway. They're at towards the forefront of the AI race. I'm not going to say they're at the head or anything else like that, but they definitely are well into the race there. There's going to be multiple winners in AI in the future. Again, I think we're years away from seeing winners, but years into the future, there's going to be winners. And I absolutely believe Microsoft is going to be one of those. Again, it's, I don't know, it's one of those things to where I don't see Microsoft slowing down anytime soon. No, you're not going to get this incredible 10x out of the stock in the next 5 years or anything else like that. But that doesn't make it a solid stock to own and to understand what you own and to really anchor your portfolio and have it kind of be one of those anchor positions in a portfolio. So for me, Microsoft is a pump it. I understand it's trading a little bit rich right now, so you may want to take a real good hard look at that valuation there, kind of see what you think about it. But in terms of the company itself is a great company and it's a great stock. So stock number 5 is Ford. Again, I don't get it, guys. I don't understand. I'm assuming that there's some sort of a trade because I'm not into the Wall Street bets or something else. All that other stuff that's out there, there's some sort of a trade on with this. Otherwise, I don't understand this one all. There's nothing in the financials that makes me positive. There's nothing in regards to the macro that would show me this massive turnaround in business or anything else like that. There's just nothing there. These are the part of the reasons why, we get called dumb money as investors. Those large investors look at us and like, really, that's what you guys are going to go with is your fifth best stock is Ford, or the fifth stock, the fifth most bought stock is going to be Ford. I mean, it's hard to disagree there. I don't know what we're thinking there. Again, maybe there's some sort of a trade or something else going on there with it. But beyond that, it's not something I want to hold. They are in an almost impossible situation of trying to turn it around because the financials are so bad. There's so much debt. There's so many albatrosses around the entire financial picture with Ford that it's going to be really, really, really hard to turn that ship around. Even with lower interest rates, it helps some, but it doesn't make it a great company. Definitely not a company that I want to be invested in the long term. So for me, it's a dump it. I want nothing to do with it. Stock number 4 is NVIDIA. This stock actually is one that kind of fell out of favor for a little bit, but it's been kind of slowly marching up the charts here. So I don't know. It's hard to argue. It's been the best stock in the stock market the past 2 years. It probably should be number 1 on this list for the past couple of years. That's how great the stock has been. I can't argue with that. I understand it's on a nice big correction right now. We knew that was coming sooner or later. Obviously, valuation is key. Growth rates are key into that future there. So depending upon, I'm not a chip expert, so I don't invest in chips because I don't understand the business models. I don't understand the chip cycles well enough to really confidently invest. So I don't invest in any of the chip stocks, period, regardless of what they are. But if you have a good understanding of that and you feel that that valuation has finally come back down to a more reasonable valuation, man, it makes perfect sense to me as to why folks would be loading the boat on the stock. I don't see anything. I'm hearing it in earnings on stocks that I own. I don't listen to NVIDIA's earnings. I'm hearing it in stocks that I own. They're talking about NVIDIA and NVIDIA chips, and they can't get enough of them. And, almost kind of kissing up to try to get more chips from NVIDIA, kind of move ahead of the line or whatever the case is. So that for me just tells me that's an incredible business there that's going on over there. So for right now, hey, it makes sense to me as to why you guys are buying it. Absolutely a pump it. But again, that valuation is always where I kind of land, especially when a stock has been as red hot as NVIDIA has been. Not only what does the valuation make sense, and then 2, do you have enough growth to continue to sustain forward movement up in the stock there and kind of do the valuation piece out a year or 2 and kind of see where you land there to kind of give yourself a better idea as to whether or not NVIDIA should continue to get our money. But hey, it's been hard to argue the past few years. It's been a great stock. Number 3 is Amazon. This one, absolutely a pump it for me. I've been buying it on every single dip. I have it basically just on a standard DCA right now that I'm just going to buy it periodically whenever I like the pricing. And it's a great stock, great company. I don't think there's anybody that thinks in 5 years that Amazon is not going to be better than what they are right now. They're in kind of one of their growth sectors, growth cycles in regards to EPS growth. And I think we're going to continue to see that the next quarter through the next year or so before they kind of start pouring all their profits back into whatever the heck is next with Amazon. And then people will be all doom and gloom about Amazon. And then before you know, all of a sudden they're printing out record profits again. And, people are scrambling to buy back into Amazon once again. So for me, absolutely pump it. It's a great company. I don't know. There's not a better retailer out there than Amazon. So happy to own the stock. Definitely want to absolutely see why you guys are buying it. So great call out there by you guys buying the stock. Stock number 2 is Apple. You guys know this is my favorite stock, so I've got to say pump it, but I'm going to give it a giant caution mark. Everybody wants to be an Apple. As much as it's quote unquote been a dead company now since 2021. I've been hearing that since then. Everything else, guess what? All the big money's run to it for safety. Now you're starting to see retail run into it for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's number 2 on the list here. So obviously there's a reason behind that. I cannot say that some of the growth from Apple Intelligence and what is or isn't going to be the iPhone super cycle or whatever's coming in the future for Apple that everybody's kind of banking on, a lot of it has been baked into the stock. It is overvalued right now, in my opinion, but that doesn't make it not a great stock. Now, hopefully this is not folks foaming into it, thinking it's going to 300 because of an iPhone super cycle or something like that. I don't know. the reasoning behind that. I just know it's a great company that I've held for a very, very long time. I don't play games with. I just buy it on the dips. But for right now, I got to caution you guys, it is a little bit overvalued. I'm not telling you not to buy it. I'm just telling you it's overvalued. You've got to understand that and be okay with where it's going to be at 5 years from now versus today, and what's going to be that catalyst for growth. When do we get that next iPhone super cycle is really when you're going to see the next move. And it kind of feels like Wall Street's trying to front run that move a little bit with the Apple Intelligence announcement and some of the things that it can do, which we actually talked about at the beginning of the year before they even made the announcement. I thought that's what they were working towards. And when it came, it was going to be a huge catalyst for the stock. And that's exactly what happened. It came, they made the announcement, and the stock just went on an epic run. So obviously, a little bit of caution here with the stock, but it is a great company, one that I believe in long term. And stock number one is Tesla. Now, this one shouldn't be of any surprise because Tesla's been on a great run. And obviously, you guys have been leading the charge with buying this stock. Now, I'm going to give it a pump it, but I'm going to give it a caution because if you're thinking about the long term with Tesla, I think you're going to be just fine. However, from a valuation perspective, because we've been seeing margins erode and a lot of other things go not in Tesla's direction, you are absolutely paying a premium for Tesla right now in regards to valuation. It is overvalued. That's why I'm saying caution. I'm also cautioning you because it seems like, not every time, but most of the time when Tesla has an event, which we have Robotaxi event coming up, it runs up real hard in the event happens, and then it sells off. Now, is that going to happen this time? I have no idea. I'm not a trader. I'm not interested in playing trading games. That's why I buy based upon valuation. Then I don't have to play these games. I was buying at 140 earlier this year. I was buying at 160 earlier this year because I let valuation take me there and understand I was buying it cheap and undervalued at that stage so I can enjoy the run up into the Robotaxi event. And I don't care if it comes back down. Great. I hope Wall Street beats it way back down, back into that undervalued territory so I can add shares. If they don't, and they kind of hold it right there, it's all right. I'm a big winner. I already bought the shares, more share. I own more shares than I want to own. So I already have bonus shares as well. And I'm already very happy with those buys. And I'm already up a lot on those buys. So Tesla for me is an absolute pump up, but you have to use caution with this stock. The valuation is absolutely stretched for now. Now, 2 years from now, I don't think this is going to be very stretched at all. But for right now, it is absolutely stretched. And remember, if you want to see all my buy and sell alerts on some of the stocks that we talked about today, make sure you check out the pinned comment for my group where you get all my buy and sell alerts in real time across all my portfolios. You get access to my complete watch list with price targets. You get 5 courses free. You get free coaching. You get to use our stock analyzer tool for free. You get to be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there. Guys, there is so much going on in the group. If you made it this far in the video, I may have left something special for you over there. So check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.